Hello, my darlings. And other people? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, don't worry, Semi. You are my darling. I would be careful with your words. Yeah, Shirabu-san gets really feisty sometimes. I'll be okay. I have a natural immunity. You sure about that? Please don't tell me we are doing those stupid things again. Challenges aren't stupid, they're fun. As long as no one gets hurt. The last few challenges weren't so bad, I suppose. Speak for yourself. That idiot Titan always has the worst timing. Did you get turned on during the last one? No comment. I wasn't even invited into the last one. But it really helped us a lot. Yeah, it got emotional, but it was nice. Aww, my sweet boy. So your crisis is over? For the most part, I suppose. That's good to hear. Okay, now that we are all caught up, let's move to today's challenge. Where's the last one? I'm here. I'm just not in the mood for challenges. Oh, did the proposal not go well? Noya didn't say anything. He doesn't know about it yet. He left before I got the chance to propose. It got to me a bit, I suppose. Sorry about that, but I'm sure it's going to work out in the end. Thanks, I hope so. Alright, let's start it then. Your today's challenge will be to scare your partner. How did you even come up with this? Long story short, I wanted to try get some reaction out of Toshi by watching horrors together, but he only flinched like twice. Which is weird because he hates Halloween stuff, but whatever. So I want to try something else. And why are you dragging us into it? You don't want to see your partner showing some intense emotions? Isn't it exciting? Not really. You are so boring sometimes. You will faint if I go at him with a horror scare. He hates that stuff. Same with Lev. It doesn't have to be a jump scare. There are other ways. Like, tell them the proposals were a joke. You said scare, not hurt. Yeah, that's too much. Fine, maybe another time. Just put in some imagination. I'll get hit if I scare Omi, either on reflex or for being stupid and agreeing to this. But I'm willing to make that sacrifice. Fine, I just hope Genji won't get mad at me. Same. Kyoten can't get mad at you. His protectiveness over you is through the roof. I guess that's true. Okay, I can try. Same here. Can't wait to hear Toru squeal. I don't think it will work on Hayato, but sure. That's the spirit. Anyone has something against? You better hope Genji won't get hurt. Yeah, you mama bear. Azumane? I'll try. Perfect. Go for it now, my darlings. Get those reactions. Please don't let this end badly. Semi had his doubts about the challenge, mostly because Shirabu was real bad with scary stuff. He still vividly remembered one time they went to a festival back in high school and Tendo dragged them into a haunted house. That one cost him over 2000 yen in sweets and 2 hours of sitting by Shirabu's side to console him. He definitely didn't want to repeat that. Sighing, he patted their cats now settled on his lap, thinking. Maybe I should come up with something milder. We wouldn't want your other dad to get a heart attack from a challenge, right? Neither Mochi nor Yami raised their heads and continued to purr contently, making Semi smile. He kissed their little heads, adding a few scratches on top. I wish I could be as worry-free as you two. You have it easy. Just eat, sleep, and get cuddles. How is that fair? He didn't expect an answer, and besides, he was glad the kittens had a hopefully comfortable life with them. Thankfully, Shirabu changed his opinion rather fast, and now the fur babies were firmly settled in their family. At least he had someone to talk to when Shirabu wasn't home. He glanced at the clock and whined quietly since, if he wanted to do the challenge properly, he now had to get the cats from his lap and get ready. I'm sorry, my darlings, but you'll have to sleep without me for a moment. He headed to the small bathroom right behind the entry hallway, which he decided was the best place to set up the challenge since Shirabu had to walk around after coming in. It not only gave him a good opportunity to sneak up on Shirabu, but also gave him enough time to make things right before they went to bed. At least, that was the plan. Well, we'll wait and see. He hid in the bathroom and waited in the dark, hoping the cats wouldn't give his position away too soon. Then he perked up when he heard keys rattling in the lock. Just a second later, the soft tapping of cat paws went past him, heading towards the hallway. Ada? The only answer he got were soft meows. Aw, hello. Did you miss me this much? I bet you did. Where's your other dad? He's usually here even before you. Semi had to stifle a chuckle. He loved listening to Shirabu talking to the cats in soft baby talk, which he of course always denied when Semi pointed it out. Unfortunately for him, Semi already had a recording. He shook his head to get back into the challenge. The sooner we get this over with, the better. Ita, are you home? Huh. You wouldn't leave the lights on if we went out or to sleep, right? Semi inwardly berated himself for not thinking of turning off the lights, but now he couldn't do anything about it. He slowly opened the door and, making as little noise as possible, stalked after his boyfriend. Eita, where are you? Come on, don't play games, I'm too... Boo! The sound Shirabu let out was inhuman. Semi flinched and jumped back, barely missing both cats as they sprinted around his legs to hide in the bedroom. Shirabu turned around sharply, his chest heaving and eyes blown wide. What the fuck, Eita? Surprise? What kind of surprise is that? Why would you... Screw you! He stomped away, but Semi didn't miss the way his eyes glossed over. Shit. Can you wait? I didn't... He paused. He did want to scare him after all. That was the goal here. He inwardly cursed Tendo and himself for going into the challenge before heading to the bedroom where Shirabu disappeared. Kenji, I'm sorry, dear, really. Don't talk to me! Sighing, Semi sat on the bed, gently rubbing what he supposed was Shirabu's back under the covers. Though it was hard to tell given the somewhat shapeless lump he turned himself into. Come on, I'm really sorry. It was just a challenge. I didn't know you get scared so much. A short huff came from under the blanket. As if that changes anything. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have agreed to it in the first place. Can you forgive me? Please? I'll do anything you tell me to. There was a short pause, after which half of Shirabu's head appeared out of the cover nest. Anything? Semi groaned inwardly, already knowing he was signing a deal with the devil, but still nodded. Yes, anything. I want cuddles. Now! I don't care if you have something to do. I thought you'd be a bit more vengeful. Shirabu hid back under a blanket with a grumble. I had a hard day, okay? Take it or leave it. And you said you'll do anything, so cuddle me. Now! Semi snorted quietly and tackled the pile of his boyfriend and blanket on the bed, earning a tiny squeal from under him. What the— You wanted cuddles? But not like this! Have some class, you caveman! Call me whatever you want, I'm keeping my word. Now stop squirming and let me hug you. How do you always turn everything on me? You don't like it? Let me out and I'll like it much more. Semi chuckled, but eased his embrace and let Shirabu untangle himself from the covers. Shirabu threw him a scorching glare, but the effect was significantly lessened by his red cheeks. Stupid Eita. But you love the stupid. Rolling his eyes, Shirabu closed the distance between them to connect their lips. Unfortunately. He snuggled closer to Semi's chest, settling more comfortably, and Semi allowed himself a breath of relief. In the end, it seemed like he would get off the hook pretty easily given the circumstances, and even got cuddles out of it. All in all, he called that a success. Truth to be told, Iwaizumi had an incredible talent of scaring Oikawa ever since they met as kids, even in times when he didn't want to. It was a great way to pay back the moments Oikawa annoyed him too much, and after years of practice, he now knew how to get the best reaction out of his boyfriend and the ways he could make it up to him afterwards. And so he grabbed everything he needed and went to hide in one of the rooms while Oikawa was still in the shower, knowing he would have to walk around the door, and rubbed his hands contentedly when he heard the water being turned off. Just a bit longer. Hajime? Have you seen my towel? Iwaizumi snickered quietly and moved right behind the door, waiting. Hajime? Did you steal it? Seriously? What are we, 5? The footsteps passed the door slowly, a sign for Iwaizumi to start. He scratched the door, adding more strength to it the longer he dragged his nails over the wood. Even through the wall, he could hear Oikawa's hitched breath. Hajime? Is that you? Iwaizumi scratched the door again, and then quickly backed into the closet, careful not to make more noise. Come on, follow the sound. Then he heard the door open slowly, and had to stifle a laugh when he imagined Oikawa peeping inside with his eyes undoubtedly blown wide. Hajime, come on, stop playing games with me. This is ridiculous. For that, you have to walk closer. Oh, my towel. How did it... Boo! Oikawa's screech would make a banshee jealous. Iwaizumi couldn't hold back the laughter anymore, almost breaking in waste despite the scorching glare aimed at him. The reaction was too amusing for him to care. Very mature of you, Hajime. What is this? Middle school? Based on your scream, yeah. You're just mad I got you. Again. Oikawa huffed, obviously offended, and crossed his arms over his chest. How entertaining. Just admit you have a bad conscience. You wouldn't jump so much if you didn't. Says who? My grandma. Then tell her getting scared after a lunatic jumps at you from a closet doesn't count as proof of anything. With that, he grabbed a towel and stomped out of the room, ostentatiously ignoring Iwaizumi's presence. Iwaizumi just rolled his eyes and followed after him, finding him sitting on the couch. Don't be pouty. I'm not. I'm mad, just so you know, so don't talk to me. Sighing in a loving exasperation, Iwaizumi leaned over the back of the couch and kissed Oikawa's cheek. I'm sorry, dear. You just have the best reaction to scares. And it was a challenge. And I have something for you. He smiled upon seeing Oikawa perk up. And what would that be? Don't forget I'm really mad at you right now. It'll have to be a damn good gift to make me forgive you. Iwaizumi smiled softly, his heartbeat speeding up as he made his way around the couch and knelt in front of Oikawa, who went quiet abruptly, watching him with confusion written over his face. What are you... Hush, or I'll get too nervous to actually do it. Oikawa blinked a few times, but stayed quiet, and Iwaizumi took a deep breath. I know you said you don't really care about it, but I still feel bad for everything that went down this year, so I got you this. It's not the best time either, I guess, but I really want you to finally have it. He reached behind his back and pulled a small box from where he hid it in the coffee table, frowning a bit when he noticed how much his hands were shaking. Still, he went ahead and opened the box before handing it to stunned Oikawa. I'm sorry it took me so long. I wanted it to be custom like the last one, but they mixed some stuff up and it took so much longer than it should have and... He was interrupted by Oikawa's whine, followed by him smacking Iwaizumi's arm, then shoulder, and last his head. Stupid, stupid Hajime! Iwaizumi's heart sank. Do you not want it? I'm sorry, I thought... He didn't get further as Oikawa smashed their lips together, silencing the remaining words on his tongue. A startle ran through his body when, upon pulling away, he noticed Oikawa's eyes glossing over. Toru. What are you doing, huh? I'm in a bathrobe, sitting on a couch. You're proposing to me when I'm almost naked and on the couch. Is that a no? A flash of horror crossed Oikawa's face before he threw himself around Iwaizumi's shoulders. Of course it's a yes, but damn it, Hajime, couldn't you choose a better time? A huge stone fell from Iwaizumi's heart. He squeezed his eyes shut and returned the hug, choosing not to make fun of Oikawa for the sniffing by his ear, since his own eyes stunk with tears. You almost gave me a heart attack. You thought I could say no to you? I was looking forward to this so much. I'm sorry. No, don't. We've been over this. It wasn't your fault. I didn't mean it like that. He leaned his forehead against Iwaizumi's and squeezed his t-shirt in his hands. Let's not go back to it, okay? I'm happy now. Ecstatic even. The most important thing is that you are healthy and here with me. So, what do you say we celebrate a bit? Iwaizumi grinned. I would love that. Kunimi sighed and flopped down on the bed, feeling tired, hungry and disgruntled. And lonely. The older he got, the worse he dealt with Kindaichi leaving, even if for just a day. It was getting annoying in a way that made him grumpy every time Kindaichi had to leave. He would be the first one to admit he missed his fiancée, but he couldn't possibly make Kindaichi miss on work and volleyball because of him. He was supposed to support his partner, not hold him back. And so here he was, lying in cold bed and waiting for Kindaichi to come home. Unfortunately for him, a quick glance at the clock told him he still had at least 1 whole hour of loneliness ahead of him. Damn it. Should have gone to work today so it wouldn't feel so long. Then he perked up when he heard the main door open. Is he trying to surprise me again? I told him not to do that. He stayed quiet for a while, listening to the soft rustling and footsteps from downstairs before he shrugged and got up. Whatever Kindaichi was preparing, it wasn't going to work. At least he's home. Screw the challenge. He scuttled down the stairs, already preparing a short speech on how childish Kindaichi was, when he froze in his tracks. What are you doing here? The man in front of him looked even more shocked. Shit. You said no one will be here. Kunimi snapped out of the stupor and bolted back upstairs to get his phone. Oh, no you don't. He stumbled as one of the men tripped him and yelped in pain when he fell face down on the hallway floor, the impact knocking air out of his lungs for a second. He tried to scramble back to his feet, but a heavy weight already pinned him down, pressing harshly against his back. Shiver went down his spine when he felt a sting of cold steel on his neck. Don't even think about it. Scream and I'll cut your throat, understood? Kunimi's heart hammered in his chest, his thoughts racing a mile a second and breath hitching when the man hauled him up, still holding the knife against his throat. Bring some cable here. What do you want? The man shoved him forward, growling into his ear. Move, and no funny business. With his heart racing, Kunimi stumbled where the stranger pushed him, trying to think of a way to get out of the danger without getting killed. The man then shoved him into the nearest room, which happened to be their bathroom, and forced him to sit by the tub. A moment later, the other man came in with a cable in hands. What do we do with him? Bind him and make sure he can't yell. The other man flashed Kunimi a wolfish grin, sending more shivers down his spine. Isn't it a pity to leave him without attention? Kunimi froze, but the first man frowned at his partner. Do what I told you to and make sure he won't be trouble. With a shrug, the man made a quick job of binding Kunimi's ankles and wrists. A strangled whine left Kunimi's throat when the same hand that bound him ran through his hair. Shame. Just take the things you want and leave. Please. There's nothing expensive here anyway. You don't... Sharp pain exploded in the side of his head. His vision went dark for a beat, his ears ringing and his yelp cut short by the piece of cloth forced deep into his mouth. Whimper escaped around the cloth as the man pressed the knife against his throat again, drawing a few droplets of blood.
Shut up!
His breathing ragged and shallow, Kunimi curled into a ball on the cold tiles, trying to be as small as possible, tears spilling from his eyes when the door slammed shut. He tried to blink the mist from his vision and think, but the dull ache in his head and the pressure from the makeshift ties which seemed to tighten with his every movement didn't help. But he had to think. He had to find a way to the bedroom to get his phone, call the police and warn Kindaichi that... His heart stopped. No, you. What if he comes back before they leave? He'll get surprised too. He tugged on the binds again, despair making him forget everything else. He had to warn Kindaichi before it was too late, before he got hurt too. His blood ran cold when he heard the unmistakable sound of the main door being closed. He tried to scream, to call out a warning, but all that left his mouth was a useless, barely hearable screech. In horror, he listened as Kindaichi's voice got cut short, followed by several yelps and dull thuds. No, 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 please no. Heavy footsteps rushed up the stairs, and he squeezed his eyes shut, preparing for the worst. Akira! Relief flooding his whole body, he tried to call out, but just like before, mere whimper left his mouth through the cloth. But even that was apparently enough, as in the next second the door flung open, revealing panicked Kindaichi. Oh, thank God. Kunimi coughed when Kindaichi pulled the cloth out of his mouth, fresh tears rolling down his cheeks. You... It's okay, it's okay. Did they hurt you? Kunimi just shook his head, unable to find his voice as Kindaichi quickly got rid of the assaulting cables and threw himself around his fiancée's neck, sobbing uncontrollably. Shh, all's good now, I promise. I thought it was you, but then they... Shh, it's okay. You're safe, I promise. I've got you. Kunimi sagged into the familiar embrace, letting his tears fall while Kindaichi rubbed soothing circles into his back, murmuring quiet reassurances into his ear. Later that evening, they sat huddled on the couch together, with Kunimi snuggled as close to Kindaichi as physically possible. His hands were still trembling, even over an hour after the police took the two men away. He could just thank all gods for Kindaichi's fast reflexes and the fact he had the baseball bat with him for the practice camp. Still, he hadn't left Kindaichi's side since, holding on to him for dear life. Fortunately, Kindaichi didn't seem to mind. Despite his best effort to forget, the memories kept coming back. The knife pressed against his throat, the cables digging into his skin, the intrusive hand in his hair. He shivered and hid deeper into Kindaichi's arms. It's alright, love. No one will hurt you again, I swear. Kunimi sniffed softly. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. They chose us randomly and forced the lock open. You didn't forget the lock. You have nothing to apologize for. But I didn't warn you. I didn't get to the phone or call out a warning before you. You couldn't. They gagged you. You couldn't do anything. But... Aki, stop. You couldn't do anything. He cupped Kindaichi's cheeks, gently wiping away the tears from his lashes before they could fall. Kunime's lower lip quivered, his voice barely above a whisper when he spoke again. I was so scared. I know. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm just glad I came home early. Me too. Can we go to bed now? Please. Kindaichi kissed his forehead. Of course. I'll be with you the whole time, okay? I promise.